Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. Hey guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a daily coin analysis. Today I'm going to be reviewing Cake, which is Pancake Swap, a very hyped coin right now. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert. Do your own research. So today, as I said, I'm going to be reviewing Cake, which is on both the BUSD pair, USDT, and Bitcoin, along with a few others, I think. But this is a very hyped coin because a lot of the degenerate trading activity that we saw on Uniswap has moved to Binance Smart Chain simply because of the speed and the transaction costs. And Pancake Swap has really done very well because of this. So what are we looking at here? This is just going to be mainly the TA only. Pancake Swap launched in the kind of nasty period for altcoins in the fall of 2020, where you saw this initial wick, price came back up and then dived back down, and then it had this almost vertical accumulation period after, where it kept hitting higher lows all throughout the winter. And there were certainly some very solid gains as well from kind of these lows, 200%. Very solid all throughout January when altcoins were pumping. But the real takeoff period really came strongly when Ethereum gas prices once again picked up, and a lot of the Binance Smart Chain projects are really starting to get hyped, and specifically Pancake Swap was really a beneficiary of that. So here's the TA. You can basically see resistance along this 70 cents area, where price kind of hit a resistance area back in October and then again in January. And it's always interesting to see that price somehow always remembers previous levels. Like back in October, this area here was kind of this like bearish retest on October 13th around $1.10, and price again went up, retested that level, and continued higher. So as I said before, this really started to take off very strongly in February. I mean, this basically just went very, very, very strongly. I mean, what is this? Basically $1 to $20, $22. That's a ridiculous gain overall. And this really just skyrocketed very strongly. Very good indicators for yourself that you can do is when you start to see mind melting volume relative to the rest of the price action. So February 1st, you saw this huge buy candle here, and price is already climbing up in volume along the way. Like in late January, you could start to see price starting to break very strongly. And when price breaks this resistance level on back from former highs from October with strong volume, and the overall climate for some altcoins is still strong, then usually you have a very high probability buy. And I remember looking at Cake BUSD and assuming that it was going to go higher. I did not personally think that it was going to do something like this though. And obviously you could basically continue seeing this rocketing up all throughout February. And then it had a big prolonged cooling period after this big blow off top wick in late February. Price pulled back, and now it looks like it might be hitting another run very shortly. So what's the technical analysis on this? If you wanted to use Fibonacci retracements, usually good ways of doing it. And you have to always look to see where price respects the levels. This is not a bad fib. I used this area off this weekly chart from February 1st. And then this is what it looks like on the daily. You can see that price respected some of these levels here. on the daily. So this doesn't look bad as a fib. It retested this 0.618 level twice, and then it's going higher. So what are we looking at in terms of Cake in the short term? I personally believe that this will hit resistance around $22 or so, pull back. $17 could be a solid entry depending on how price gets there. So we might see some price action like this. Another option is that we might also see price action where it just continues to grind up and consolidates and then hits higher. Both of these are fairly bullish in my opinion. If you start to see consolidation, then that's bullish. And if you see a pullback going to a higher low, that's also bullish. It's also quite possible that price goes up like this and hits even lower to 14 or something and then goes higher. Certainly a possibility as well. It's going to depend a little bit on Bitcoin as well as to what the USD pair does. But in general, this just still looks very bullish to me. There isn't really any sign of pullback or a trend reversal, and this still looks bullish with decent volume coming in. A double top scenario is, of course, possible. You never say never, and this would basically look something like this, where you see price blitz up, and then it starts heading back down. This is certainly a possibility too. I mean, but given the way the current market is, and given the way that Cake is on a fundamental level, as well as its current activity and the overall climate for altcoins, this still to me looks bullish. I think the likely scenario is that this hits up, pulls back, and then goes higher. So that's my analysis on the USD pair. Let's look at the BTC pair. Again, this had a little bit of a more recent launch, February of 2021 for the BTC pair. And yeah, this is basically pretty obvious here. This is like a good classic example of a rounded bottom reversal on the 4-hour, where you see this rounded bottom, and sometimes you'll see this cup and handle type of pattern where price will hit this area and then kind of consolidate down and then go higher. But because Cake is so strong lately, it just splits right up. There's not really much to say in terms of the BTC pair. It is a newer pair, so there's not as much price action in general. You can mark your levels, like this level here around 30, I can't read, 3,100 Satoshis, 3,200 Satoshis. It, or is that 30,000 actually? 30,000 has acted as kind of this resistance area right here. And price has not been able to break this current area. But in general, I mean, I think that price is likely to break through eventually. I think it's likely that price will bust through here, and then the next resistance area will be this wick around 65. But in general, still looks very bullish to me. We are seeing some high sell volume right here, which is a little bit concerning. But again, I don't necessarily see a trend reversal quite yet. If Bitcoin does very strongly move in one direction or another, then I expect this lower area around 2,600 to get tapped. But this still looks okay to me for now. Again, as I said before, certainly possible though that these lower levels are tapped if Bitcoin moves strongly in either direction. So this is my analysis on Cake, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.